It's still Farmers Month, and so in today's program, we share with you one young entrepreneur who's using nature's bounty to create a big difference in your kitchen. Hello there, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and it's time for Jamaica Magazine. Welcome.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, April 20. Government has assured its international partners of Jamaica's commitment to the economic program under the Extended Fund Facility with the International Monetary Fund (IMF). Finance Minister Audley Shaw gave the assurance as he attended the annual IMF World Bank Spring meetings in Washington, D.C. in the United States. Accompanied by State Minister Favour Williams and technical teams from the Ministry and Bank of Jamaica, he took part in a series of meetings with the IDB, World Bank and IMF. Before returning to the island on Monday, they discussed a wide range of issues with the multilateral agencies, including financing and technical assistance in the areas of tax reform, public sector reform and energy reform, as well as other government initiatives. As for Jamaica's agreement with the IMF, Minister Shaw advised that all quantitative and structural benchmarks for the December 2015 quarter were met and that indications point to the same for the March 2016 quarter. In May, an IMF mission will arrive in the island to review both quarters since they were not able to conduct a December review in February due to the general elections. In the meantime, the Finance Minister has indicated that the Jamaican government will continue to work closely with the IMF and other multilateral institutions. 31 new recruits have been added to the municipal police force, charged with enforcing municipal laws and regulations and the maintenance of public order. The new recruits joined the municipal police force after being trained at the National Police College under a partnership with the Ministry of Local Government. At their graduation last Friday, Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie stressed that the municipal police play a critical role in local governance and charged the new graduates with being fair and objective in executing their duties.
And in executing your responsibilities, you're going to come across friends, even sometimes family members. But remember, the law does not carry its color. You can't be partial in the execution of your responsibilities.
The ministry's permanent secretary Denzel Thorpe meanwhile asserted that they were also critical stakeholders in the growth agenda.
It means then that in enforcing the rules that are established to ensure public order, you are not just ensuring compliance with rules, but in the bigger picture, you are playing an integral role in maintaining an environment free from chaos and therefore ripe for growth.
Meanwhile, law-abiding citizens are being urged to restore key values in society as they work with the security forces in the fight against crime.
We cannot allow a minority of persons who have committed themselves to living lives of crime and violence. We can't allow them to terrorize our citizens, to traumatize our children, and to hold our communities hostage to fear.
The Minister of State for National Security was addressing a recent Thanksgiving service for the security forces held at the Northern Caribbean University. They were lauded for their outstanding contribution to Jamaica as they serve on the front line of the war against criminality and violence. Over 6,000 young people across the island, including those with disabilities, will be engaged in the National Youth Services Summer Work Experience program this year. Speaking at the launch ceremony on Tuesday, Education State Minister Floyd Green encouraged students to make the best use of the experience.
It's not necessarily where you are placed, but the skills that you develop in these employment programs, the responsibility and the discipline that comes with getting your first job.
The 2016 Summer Work Experience, which will begin in July, will place students aged 17 to 24 years within public and private companies to gain critical career development skills while earning a stipend. The Caribbean Maritime Institute CMI will be launching an online system to collect, store, manage and interpret data regarding students in the National Career Advancement Program CAP, among other things. The introduction of the Enterprise Resource Planning ERP will make CMI the first tertiary institution in the Caribbean to fully execute such a system.
The platform is being tried and tested. It's a cost saving. It's far more reliable. Right. And it's a better platform for the future. Right.
CMI's executive director was speaking on Tuesday at a JIS think tank. Minister of Education, Youth and Information Ruel Reid, who was also on hand, said the innovation was timely and expressed hopes of extending it to other institutions.
I can readily see how this management information system can be useful in linking the various youth development agencies and education training institutions and make access to them much easier. I see too how this open source software could be utilized to develop a sector-wide database of youth and their needs. The next step for local education sector is to expand the use of open source technology to access educational resources and minimize reliance of expensive printed textbooks.
The system, which was developed in-house, will allow CAP students to apply online and then be placed in a program of study based on their needs, as well as track their progress. And finally, mid-level leaders in the public sector are to benefit from a new training program to be developed and implemented by the Management Institute for National Development in partnership with the National College for Educational Leadership. Both institutions signed a memorandum of understanding on Friday at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Portfolio Minister Ruel Reid welcomed the partnership, which will also benefit school leaders.
This partnership is expected to result in the retooling and upgrading of the professional skills of the upper and middle level management institutions across the education system, particularly in the public sector.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
When we go shopping for farm produce, we generally buy our herbs separately, then mix and match as we so desire. One young lady is doing all the mixing for you through the creation of a line of Jamaican bottled spices. Learn more in our next feature.
Seeking a career in agriculture? Well, there are several options. Truth is, there are so many areas that one can be involved in than just farming the soil and rearing animals. And as the government continues to establish and maintain initiatives to ensure a steady inflow of young talent in the sector, we highlight Mahalia Gordon, whose passion is linked to the soil.
This is my product. This is a natural seasoning and it is called Everybody's Natural Blend. It has a blend of ingredients such as escallion, garlic, thyme, ginger, pimento, pepper, garlic, and it is preserved with natural ingredients such as vinegar and salt, and it has a shelf life of a year.
In supporting our farmers, Mahalia uses locally grown produce to make this authentic Jamaican product.
I will show you how I prepare Everybody's Natural Blend. First, I would get the produce. Secondly, I would prepare them by washing, cleaning them up, and then chopping them up. So now we're adding the onions to everything, but this is not everything in the bowl. But because of time today, I won't do all of that. So I will show you now the pureed form, which is this, after which I would butter. Then we seal the bottle and then add our label, and then the product, Everybody's Natural Blend, is ready for the market.
Mahalia chose to tap into the agro-processing market because of her love for food preparation. Already, her condiments and sauces have been tested and approved by the Scientific Research Council, SRC.
I found myself loving to cook and basically trying out new stuff, experimenting on foods and different things. So the conceptions all started when I was home and I had meat to prepare. So I wasn't really in the mood to cut up and dice the scallion, the garlic and all of those. So I just decided to do a blend, just blend everything together and just do one blend. And this is a very convenient way for householders, housewives and others to, you know, get one blend in a bottle and just use it to season your meat, your fish or your poultry, just like that.
Although she's very business-minded and eager to put Everybody's Natural Blend on the local and international markets, Mahalia finds time to be a normal teenager.
Throw the forward now. And stop going like you're cute. Consider right this, so we're gonna give some joy. Mahalia, she's a crazy person. When I say crazy, I mean like, she always giving me jokes. Really and truly, I tend to be in my book at times, but then again, I have to enjoy myself. I'm a fun-loving person, down to earth. I like to listen to music, reading, like to socialize with my peers.
Also a foodie, Mahalia is thinking of furthering her education at the University of Technology Jamaica, UTech, or at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE. Her interest is to explore her creativity in the food industry by creating new products and services. Either of the two institutions will certainly provide the guidance necessary for her to exploit her budding business.
A few years from now, I see myself as a big entrepreneur. I'm planning to branch off into hot and spicy. Some persons don't like pepper, so I am thinking of doing non-peppery, peppery, and also try to include other ingredients that are unique. For example, basil and those kind of herbs.
Big dreams being facilitated through agriculture. This expansion means Jamaican farmers will have to grow more so that more local produce will be used in authentic sauces like Mahalia's and others, and in doing so, we buy Jamaican and build Jamaica. Young people continuing the growth of the agriculture sector into the future.
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
The Culture, Health, Arts, Sports and Education Chase Fund is known for undertaking community projects that result in bringing people together. Well, they're at it again. Through the organization's intervention, the Rio community can boast about their new cultural center. Take a look.
Rio St. Anne now has an upgraded cultural center.
This community center will serve a wide range of activities and different age groups.
First established in the 1970s, the Rio Community Center has long been a central meeting point for residents of this area.
This community center is like an oasis in the desert. It is a community center that a lot of people utilizes on a weekly basis. I could put my neck on the block and say, in St. Anne, this is the community center that is most utilized.
But the wear and tear of time began to show on the center until the intervention of the Chase Fund brought a fresh look. The new beginning came with a new name, the Rio Community Cultural Center. The rehabilitation work was funded at a cost of $4.5 million. It involved improvements to the bathrooms, kitchen, ceiling and windows, as well as wall finishes and electrical installation.
I'm seeing a finished product, a project that we're really pleased about.
The facility is one of 10 community centers across the island that were either built or rehabilitated by Chase.
We have spent in excess of $2 billion to do projects like these in and around every corner of this country, Jamaica, land we love.
Recently, the Rio Community Cultural Center was officially opened and handed over to residents. Today, it serves more than 2,000 citizens.
We are hoping that you will make the best use of this community center. It's not built for any special group. It is not built for any particular individual. It is built for the members of the Rio community.
And those members are more than eager to put it to good use for individual and community development. The right things are in place: a nearby river, a splendid field, and a quiet nature trail. At the center of it all, the community center.
Windalco at times hop on the bandwagon by asking to use it. We also come out here to support events undertaken by the communities. Whether it is a funeral, whether it is a festive dance, whatever it is held here right at Rio Community Center.
The Rio Community Cultural Center, a hub for training, recreation, cultural and sporting activities.
We need to ensure that we maintain the place in a good condition so that it can offer services, good quality service to all and sundry.
Mr. Shirley, me get the invitation to America.
A passport is one of the most important forms.
Here at PICA, we believe in excellent customer service. So when we wanted our customers to know about us, we approached the GIS and they delivered, and we got excellent value for money. And so we encourage you to go to the GIS, a one-stop shop for media services. They have print, radio, television, and so much more.
Tax Administration Jamaica is working to serve you even better. Have you used the upgraded electronic service RAISE 2? Through this online platform, you can check statement balances, start the application process for a taxpayer registration number, file income tax returns, and much more. No lines, no hassle. It's just a click away.
I like the system and it is very, very, very good.
I find it
user-friendly.
Log on to jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 1-888-TAX-HELP for details. Use Raise 2 and experience the upgrade.
It is budget season and the government is preparing to outline its expenditure plans for the financial year 2016-2017. I hope you will be listening keenly, as you might learn a thing or two about adjusting your personal budget. For example, let's talk about budgeting for retirement. Many persons might feel they are too young to start saving for that big day, but that's the wrong approach. The earlier you start, the more you will be able to put aside and possibly retire earlier than planned. Hey, it is possible, but that depends on what you are willing to do now. There are a number of pension plans available to you, and you should explore and find the one that best suits your needs. Many companies provide a mandatory occupational pension scheme for employees. In this type of arrangement, the employee usually contributes a defined percentage of their income, which is then matched by the employer. If you're not part of such a scheme, there are other pension schemes you can explore, such as an individual retirement account or approved superannuation scheme. This type of plan is usually administered through a financial institution. To achieve your retirement goals, try not to inflate your lifestyle. That means live within your means. Proper money management and fiscal planning will ensure that Jamaica remains the place of choice, period. Talking about that, right after the break, I'll tell you another way we can make Jamaica the place of choice.
I'm young, gifted, and violence-free. I will stand up for peace.
No matter what you say,
You can't take that away.
I'm young,
gifted, and violence-free.
I choose to live.
I choose to be me.
If we want to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, we must address the issue of violence against the most vulnerable, including women, children, the elderly, and disabled. The Jamaica Aid Support for Life is taking on that challenge, and they're also boldly addressing the link between gender-based violence and HIV and AIDS. Listen up to learn how you can make a difference.
He says that he loves me. He says that he could never imagine not having me around.
Almost 1/3 of women who have been in a relationship report some form of physical and/or sexual violence by their intimate partner.
See, he says that we were made to be together. For better or worse, it will always be him and I.
Victims or survivors of intimate partner violence are often reluctant to talk about it.
See, I adore thee would be too simple, and measuring soft kisses could never amount to the way that he truly feels. So he allows his tongue to spill out words like as he undresses me behind closed doors. Doors that encloses our secrets, walls that whisper or hush-hush tales of how he loves me.
Anywhere I would have followed you.
violence against women, we know, is a pervasive developmental issue. It results mainly in multiple negative health outcomes, and it reinforces underdevelopment.
It has also been determined that violence against women or gender-based violence increases the risk of contracting HIV.
The link between violence and HIV, it's complex, but it's influenced by biological, sociocultural, and economic factors. Forced intercourse with an HIV-infected individual leads to HIV transmission. Because of the psychosocial stress that is put onto the woman, and it often leads to later engagement in high-risk behaviors.
Compounding the issue, experts say that in many countries, including our own, there is wide social acceptance of violence against women.
Every country in the world does it. Every media does that. Whenever you see something in the news that relates to violence against women, immediately the media covers her, not the perpetrator. What was she wearing? What's her moral fiber? What is she? The victim blaming that comes with that is immediate, and it crosses all cultural boundaries. This social acceptance of violence is a pressure on both boys and girls. What is it going to take for that acceptance, that tolerance to change?
The Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, JASL, is looking to be a change agent. In 2013, JASL began a project called Expanding Gains to Decrease and Prevent Violence Against Women in the context of HIV and AIDS. It's funded by the United Nations Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women.
We expect that women and girls who are affected by HIV will have increased access to integrated VAW and sexual reproductive health services. We expect that women and girls who are affected by HIV have improved literacy and advocacy skills to respond to the issues that affect them.
Now in its third and final year, the project has engaged and provided training for over 1,200 women and girls.
Coming out of the workshops held with the women from all key groups, issues were identified, as well as gaps in policies, legislation, and programs. And positions were taken on what the women needed to see happen as relates to improvement. Over the next few months, these issues, gaps, and positions will be taken by select women advocates to key duty bearers, including policymakers, during face-to-face advocacy meetings.
The experiences of these women and girls are also being used to inform a media campaign that was launched on March 2.
Our vision for women by women. And if you're on Twitter, hashtag #ZeroVaw, #ZeroHIV.
From this multimedia campaign, JASL expects that the reality of VAW and its effect on HIV will not only create widespread awareness, but also effect some change in attitude and behavior. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube will be employed to get the message out to the various target audiences. Our revamped website will be a one-stop shop for all the pieces of the VAW-HIV campaign, among other things.
JASL has also produced 3 videos to spread the message.
There's no excuse for violence. Our mothers and sisters don't ask to be raped or sexually harassed, even if they wear a short skirt.
If you see a woman or a girl being abused, report it.
Awareness has to lead to behavior change.
It is possible.
It is possible.
Our generation can stop violence against women and our girls.
Our generation can end violence against women and girls.
Truthfully, he says that I am special. And honestly, I believe he's being truthful. Because he doesn't just love me with his heart, he allows his love to splatter like art across my eyes and inner thighs, where my skin hides the permanent etchings of his touch. And I have never had anyone love me like this before. Never had anyone express their love with such passion. Never had anyone fasten their fist to my face in hopes of defacing any ounce of doubt that may exist within me. And I wear his scars like paint marks hidden beneath my clothes as reminders that even if the world never sees, he shows me. He shows me. He shows me with puddles of bright red blood and mottled rainbow-colored bruises that he will always love me. He loves me.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
We have come to the end of the show for today. Join us again tomorrow for another half-hour segment. Until then, continue to follow the GIS on Facebook and Twitter. Also, get the latest updates on things happening in government through our website or YouTube channel. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the hard-working production team here at the GIS, do have yourselves a good evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.